Everybody, and welcome to Rumbi Uncensored. And I'm so excited right now. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are well. And a happy weekend to you. It's Saturday, actually. So, yeah, come through. We need to have a conversation. All right, we need to have a conversation, really. So, we'll be looking at Sengezo Tshabangu has been fired, apparently, suspended or fired, quote unquote. And I'm going to say this honestly, shame on you, Mr. Jacob Mafume. What an embarrassment. I hold highly, I highly respected this man. Honestly, let me down. Mr. Mafume, you let me down. And I, on behalf of the multitude, we are disappointed. So yeah, come through. Let's have a talk about this issue today. Hope you guys are well. I want you to tell me if you are hearing me well, because last time people were complaining that they can't hear me. So can you guys hear me properly? So that we make sure that we are together. Please, if you are hearing me, just drop your blue hearts quickly here and say, yes, we can hear you very well. Are you guys good? What's up? Happy weekend to everyone. Happy weekend. Well done, guys. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you so much for giving me the feedback. That's all I want right now. Okay, so Mr. Mafume is who we're going to be looking at his interview with, actually today I'm going to be looking at TechMark TV for a reason. We have been really pursuing the one for HSTV, that is with Dara, and I thought it's so important for us to give other people an opportunity because TechMark to Tonio was absolutely incredible. Yeah, that's what we're going to be pursuing tonight. All right, just a quick one. Guys, I want to say shout out and also send my condolences to the president of Namibia, President Genkop. Yeah, people were really literally in Namibia today, just, gathering with everybody and celebrate such an incredible life. But one thing that stood out for me, honestly, which I also saw ZANU-PF literally, supporting, is the way he has been working with the opposition. You know, we've spoken about South Africa, and today we are going to be talking about Namibia. And that raises a question, what about us as Zimbabweans? What is the problem? Why can't we just all work together as a family? Why there's always fight? Every time there is always fight in the country. What is it about ZANU-PF that they cannot work with their sisters and their brothers? So ZANU-PF are patriots, which is the other ZANU-PF page official, send out a statement and say, opposition leader now on podium. How Mark Henry, a Venan MP and leader of the opposition, says he is proud that for 9 years he critiqued Comrade Haj Genkop's policies. He says he made me angry several times and I also angered him. Beyond that, we respected each other and Genkop was a patriot. He was a bridge builder and we visited his house several times. Can I ask this question? Why can't Nelson Chamisa be able to visit, President Nelson Chamisa? No, President Nelson Chamisa get to be able to visit President Emerson Mnangagwa. I'm talking about president for citizens. He's no longer a president. Forgive me, yeah, but what I'm just trying to say is that why is it Nelson Chamisa can't be able to meet up with President Emerson Mnangagwa? This says a lot about us. That's why I've always been saying our challenges still boils down to the fact that we need to introspect as a nation. What is it that we can't talk to one another as brothers and sisters? That's really my concern, and I'm sure you all are concerned. Okay, may his soul rest in peace. And my brother, whom I respect and honor, Alinaka said, mourned by the citizens he was leading. Would they do the same with you, President? They're asking Zimbabwe. Can they? Because he's being mourned by the people that he led. What about us Zimbabweans? I'm sorry to say this, guys. I have so much love for President Emerson Mnangagwa, but I've never met up with him. I don't really understand him. If someone had to ask me about President Emerson Mnangagwa, I have nothing to say. Honestly, I have literally nothing to say. I know there's some people, maybe from ZANU-PF, since I know I've been part of ZANU-PF years back, but we never really had an opportunity. At that time, it was Robert Mugabe who was the president. So now that we have President Emerson Mnangagwa, I really have never had an opportunity to sit down with him. People are always threatening you. You know, there are those gatekeepers, who don't even want anyone to be closer to him. So they try to demonize everybody who don't support him or who don't believe or who not affiliating themselves with ZANU-PF. So that's the problem. That's why I said we need to introspect as a Zimbabwean people. So shout out to Gift Osalosi. He's the one who's trending today because it is actually his birthday. I want to say to him, shout out to Mr. Gift Osalosi. He's doing incredible work. The young man is very committed to the struggle. And I want to send my love and respect to you, sir. And also, we have the president's twins, President Emerson Mnangagwa, Colin and Sean, is their 37th birthday. One of them is an army general. He's an army colonel. Is that colonel? I don't know. I don't even have a clue of what this is all about. And also, the other one is actually working in the mines. They were taking very nice pictures with their father and their mother today. I want to say shout out to you, my brothers, and happy birthday to you. And by the way, don't forget, tomorrow is my birthday. I'm going to be turning 41 years old. So yeah, it's so good to be 41 years old. You know, it's like, wow. I can remember yesterday I was 20 years old when I turned 21. I was given a key and they said, you need to go and start living your life. My father was like, move out of my house. It's time for you to start. And I'm grateful to my daddy for all that he did for me and literally showing me the path that I can stand for myself. I can pay my own bills. I can work. I can also be proud of myself and pursue purpose with so much dignity and respect for everyone. It means a lot. So tomorrow you must come through and say happy birthday to me. So someone says you are Magogo, but so charming. Okay, thank you very much, Adolf. But next time, don't call someone Magogo. I'm still here. You may go home and leave me right here. I'm very young. You know, I'm still very, very young. I've got a lot to give. I've seen many people literally starting their purpose late. Do you remember that the owner of KFC, I think it was around 50-something years old when he got the vision of building KFC. It's just that in Zimbabwe, we have a lot of things to learn in life. You know, age is simply a number. I'm still here, very young, solid, beautiful, you know, yeah, energetic, ready to conquer the world. So yeah, be nice, be sweet, be respectful always. May God bless you. All right, so we give to Osalo, so he sent himself a message. He said, as I celebrate another year on this beautiful planet, I reflect on the journey that has brought me this far. I've stumbled, fallen, and risen stronger. Each mistake has been a lesson. Every triumph, I'm grateful for the highs and the lows, for they have shaped me into who I am today. To the world, and also to the Lord in the heavens that guides us, I'm grateful. Your grace has been my compass, your love my anger. As we march forward, we carry the dreams of a brighter future for everyone, which is a Zimbabwe that we're all crying for. We embrace the adventures that lies ahead, knowing that we are all part of something greater and bigger, and do victory. Asibonge. So shout out to you. That is a gift to all Stalosi. And I also want to say, I know there are some people here that are also going to have their birthdays tomorrow. I want to tell you that I love you so much. I did not prepare, but I'm sure next time I will be ready and preparing something greater for you. So please bear with me. I'm not really a grand culture person. I'm really just chilled. So please understand. I'm not wild. I've seen a lot in life. You know, so to me, life is as simple as that. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you so much for those that are sending my happy birthdays. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, but it will be tomorrow anyway. Yeah, a beautiful day indeed. All right, so Fortune reminded Gift Osalosi that many years ago at the then illustrious University of Zimbabwe, Comrade Osalosi, who celebrated his birthday today, led a massive student demonstration on campus. Some of us are not surprised that he has gone ahead to be leading a figure in the democratization struggle. I'm not surprised. The guy is really working hard to make sure that we build a Zimbabwe for everyone. So I want to say to Gift Osalosi, bless you, brother. You're much loved, much respected. For those that want to drop, happy birthday to Gift, please do so. As a matter of fact, they watch this stuff for your own information. You'll be surprised. They may not be here now, but they do watch when they get some time. So please, guys, let's show each other some love always. And I want to say to everyone, if it's your birthday tomorrow, bless you. And I love you so much. Online. Okay, moving on. President Nelson Chamisa. Why am I keep on saying president? Because you know what, guys. This is the thing about drama. The future president, yeah, not now. So the future president Nelson Chamisa, he said, "Only believe. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God. Believe also in me, John 14:1. Jesus Christ said these words after predicting Peter's shameful denial. My beloved, let not the temporal troubles trouble you. Betrayals, deception, malice, lies, entrapments, and conspiracies must not trouble you. Worry not. Be focused. Darkest moments are moments just before dawn. Only believe in Jesus Christ, the Lord and the Savior. Blessed Sabbath. Hashtag God is in it. Hashtag Sabbath blessings. And I want to say blessings to everyone. All right. I think it's important before we proceed for me to actually remind you, because one of the things that I've realized is that there are people who think they're so smart. Who am I referring to? I'm actually referring to Mr. Jacob Mafume. When he talks about the MDC leadership, it makes me wonder, because I do remember this day when they were standing him next to Fadzia and also Ostalos. I guess, Ostalos was the vice president for Citizen Coalition for Change. I guess Mr. Mafume was hungry for position. Maybe he wanted to be the spokesperson. He was very close looking at the documents for Fadzia at that time. So I wanted to remind you of that meeting and listen carefully to what Fadzia said, because it is going to be the foundation of where we are going right now. Take a listen, please. Yo, can you hear me well? I need to make sure today you can hear everything, okay? Aticha, okay?
All right. Good afternoon to everybody, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us on today's presser. Let me begin by apologizing for the 5 minutes.
All right, so before we proceed, I need to confirm that you guys can hear well, because last time people were saying it was faint. Can you hear me louder? If you can hear me loud and clear, please drop your blue hearts here, because I do not want anyone to be left behind. We must all move together, please. Let me know if you can hear me well. Thank you.
In our start, this was occasioned by the fact that we were receiving an urgent report from the Elections Directorate, which had conducted an inquiry into some of the things that we're going to talk about today. Now, straight to the business of the day. Let me start by thanking all the citizens for their overwhelming support for our bright yellow baby, the Citizens Coalition for Change. And so the most important thing in this press is to remind you all that tomorrow is Yellow Friday. Please, all of you citizens, wear a touch of yellow as your statement of hope for a bright new Zimbabwe, where we have ethical leaders and every citizen counts. Now, over the last few days since the watershed announcement by President Nelson Chamisa, the People's President, the Citizens Coalition for Change, we have succeeded in painting the whole nation yellow.
Thank you.
Every village, every town, every city, and indeed the diaspora is singing the yellow song and has been gripped by the yellow fever. Now, as said by President Nelson Chamisa, this coalition, this movement is a brand new political party with a brand new philosophy that puts the centers back at that puts the citizens back at the center of all decision making. Our goal is to inspire hope and a thirst for change in Zimbabwe's political space. The Yellow Movement speaks the politics of hope, of accountability, and of development. And so in this regard, it's important to say that the community candidate selection process, of which you've all no doubt heard about by now, is a revolution in our political space. And it's inspired by the idea that the citizens have to be at the center of deciding which candidates will represent them in their communities. Consensus, broader participation, and avoiding some of the toxicity that has in the past been associated with primary elections in Zimbabwe's political arena is the inspiration behind this new candidate selection template. It's a process that is fresh, that is new, and directly in line with our philosophy that the new citizen movement will put the people back into our politics in Zimbabwe. They must have a strong say in any issue that affects them. Now, obviously, with any innovation or the rollout of any new system, there are bound to be technical glitches. And as you're shortly going to hear from our Secretary for Elections, Councillor Ian Makone, a total of 143 by-elections are scheduled to take place throughout Zimbabwe on the 26th of March, 2022.
All right, I wanted to give a foundation, and let me tell you this day, actually, Mafume was actually very close to Fazemaere when Fazemaere was talking about how new was then the Citizen Coalition for Change. She kept on saying new, and we were avoiding all toxicity at that time. Jacob Mafume is there. You also saw Wendy, Tendai Biti was there, and Wash Mengwe. They were lifting the blueprint, as confirmation that they were actually embarking on a new chapter in their lives. So this makes me wonder, why are we in all these shenanigans that are unnecessary, especially when it comes to Mafume, Tendai Biti, and Wash Mengwe, being the men that I personally respect. I respect them deeply, but unfortunately, they proved to me that education is not enough. You actually need wisdom. If you lack wisdom, you have nothing absolutely. They've proved without reasonable doubt that certificates on the wall, speaking all, fluent or, great vocabulary is not an indication of wisdom, of smartness. It's not. Because being played, used, manipulated, you've seen how people are taking cars. You are taking car and ruin your destiny. What are you going to do with the liability? You know what I mean? What are you going to do with it? Even those that are being given land, some of them, the land is being taken back. It's simply a game. So you need to know what's best for you. Choose the right battles and choose the right people. People with principles, you will never go wrong. But when you are dealing with those that are unprincipled, you never know if they say yellow, if they wake up tomorrow and say green or pink. They do not know where they belong. Anything, whoever, the highest bidder, they can sell their soul any minute, any day. So, to my surprise, there's a statement that is circulating that has been sent out by another faction of Triple C. Remember, there are three factions. We have number one faction, which is the one for Promise Mukwanan's womb, which he confirmed that it's simply a wing for Nelson Chamisa. But because it is a political game, they played it so well. But that wing definitely get instructions from Nelson Chamisa, even though he resigned from Citizen Coalition for Change. This is by the confirmation from Promise Mukwanan's. And we have the one that is for Mafume and Tendai Biti, Wash Mengwe, where currently Wash Mengwe, Tendai Biti, and my court and court, they're actually the temporary presidents until they actually pass their Congress. Now we're looking at another faction. This is the one where Sengezo Tshabangu is part of. They've sent out a statement suspending Sengezo Tshabangu, from this faction. So this is a statement that they sent out. They said the Triple C party, through its interim standing committee, would like to update the citizens of Zimbabwe, international community, all stakeholders of the change champions, that is Ungwazo, up to the street, champions of the new development within the Triple C party and in our space within the government structure of the country. The National Assembly, the lower house, the upper house, Minister of Local Government, ZEC, the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. The 2019 structure, again, we are back to the 2019 structure that was announced by the herein Mayor Jacob Mafume, appointing Professor Wash Mengwe as an interim president, rotationally. 2019 Congress structure, quote unquote, is a new party of their own, Triple C.W. Why the formalized Triple C that fielded double candidates, constitutionalized, recalled, and the one that appointed the interim SG, Sengezo Tshabangu, is the one that was led by the former president, Nelson Chamisa, who recently resigned from the Triple C party, leaving us with the interim standing committee now, led by the interim chairman, Dingilizwe Shuma, who will lead the party for the next 90 days until Congress date has been set. The CCC Interim Standing Committee set on the 21st of February 2024 with a great concern about the appointed CCC Interim Secretary General Sengezo Tshabangu for not attending our meetings on several occasions through invitations to him, and further went to submit a Malawi Senate proportional representation replacement list to Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. That was not agreed upon by the Interim Standing Committee in our last meeting, but he submitted his own decided list. He then went on to engage the Jacob Mafume, the Harare Mayor, Professor Washmenge, and Honorable BT team, who were not part of the Interim Standing Committee that appointed him, Sengezo Tshabangu, as the Interim Secretary General. The CCC Interim Committee resolved the following in the 21st February 2024 meeting. A, with immediate effect, the CCC party suspended the CCC Interim SG Sengezo Tshabangu pending disciplinary hearing. B, the CCC Interim Standing Committee is disassociating itself from the Professor Washmenge CCC-led party. And C, the CCC Party Interim Standing Committee again nullified the Malawi Senate and proportional representation replacement list that was submitted by the CCC Interim Secretary General Sengezo Tshabangu to Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. And D, all elected members of Parliament, Council, Senator in the 23rd August 2022 to remain in their mandated duty up to the end of the term of the office. E, so that is to further consult the stakeholders and citizens on the way forward. One people, one nation, one vision. It was signed the interim deputy chairperson, Honorable Albert Mlanga, and he dropped his contact numbers right there. What a sick word. You know, what a sick word. What a sick word. All right, I want to apologize for people keep on saying I should be blocking. If I start blocking people, it's going to take me off course. However, I'm going to try to do so. If you come here and be disrespectful, let me tell you, the family is going to kick you out of the room. It is what it is. They want me to read the comments. It's going to be difficult because when I'm here, if I started reading comments, then I'm going to be off course. So I don't want to lose myself. However, thank you so much for letting me know that there's someone who's actually trying to disturb conversation in the house. We're going to kick that person out. This place, yes, not Facebook. If you are used to toxicity where people throwing tantrums, yeah, it's classy only. You're more than welcome to share your views, but respectfully, I'm not going to lower my standards. I don't do that. It's the right thing or nothing. I don't budge when it comes to that. So if you're used to speak anyhow, we're going to teach you if we never raise properly, we can help you to raise you well. I'm sorry, unfortunately, we can't play around with time. Okay, so guys, what's shocking me now is we are looking at another faction that is busy, talking, Sengezo Tshabangu. They are suspending him from his position as a Secretary General. Reason being because he omitted some of their meetings. Let me tell you, this is simply a lie. Whoever the attorney that is advising these people, playing all their shenanigans, I would say shame on you too. You know what? I know that as attorneys, sometimes you are like, I'm working, I'm here doing the job. I can only do as I want to do. It's my job, it's my business, it's a mandate that I was given. But you need to remember one thing as a leader. Okay. You need to remember one thing as an attorney. There are sometimes that you need to also understand that there are principles that govern life. Because if you're not careful, your career can go down with mess. I've seen people who says, I don't want to be part, I can't deal with your case, please try another attorney. So whoever is literally advising these people to play their shenanigans and games, I'm really going to say shame on you, Mr. Attorney. In the Zimbabwe that is coming, it's going to be very hard for you to work with people because your resume is going down. Your resume is going down. I cannot believe that in 2024, in such a beautiful country as Zimbabwe, with such an intelligent community, blessed people, we can have men and women who wakes up in the morning and decide to write such kind of crap like this. It is a shame and an embarrassment. Unfortunately, it is a shame. I do not care what you think or what you say. This, you should ask yourself, what is it about your legacy? Honestly, your legacy as an attorney, it goes beyond the money sometimes, guys. It's about principles. But I'm going to ask, there are more than nearly 400 people here. I'm going to ask you quickly, guys, to make sure that at least you like the life. Don't know what I would do with that. To like the life, so at least we are able to call other people through. Please like the life so we can push algorithm. All of y'all, go in there and be of a sister's keeper. I love you so much while you're doing so. It helps a lot to to push on algorithm. So like I said to you tonight, we're going to be looking very closely to Mr. Mafume's interview that he had with Tech Magazine. So Tech Mag TV, I don't know why I keep on calling it a magazine. I don't know for some reason why I keep on calling Tonio. I'm very sorry that I keep on calling your such a blessed business, a successful business. I keep calling it a magazine. Oh, I need to stop right now. Such a successful media house, you don't deserve that. Or maybe you have a magazine soon. So please, Mr. Tonio, receive that one. So today we're going to be looking at Tonio. What an incredible interview that he did with Mr. Mafume. Absolutely amazing interview. Let's hear him out. But let me tell you, like I said.
Well, listen, I love God's word. I'm excited to share it.
Yeah, please bear with me. That's Darius Daniels there that I was listening to. Incredible preacher. Incredible preacher. I'm a child of God. But God and I, we are one place or nothing. Non-negotiable. All right, so we're going to be listening to Mr. Mafume. We're going to analyze it really and dig deeper, respectfully, to this interview. Quite an interesting interview, honestly. Interesting interview. Don't be rude, be nice, please. Be your brother and sister's keeper, all right? Okay.
Give us a bit of detail towards that issue, because many people fully want to understand that issue.
Whenever there are two or more acting vice presidents, what happens is that they rotate, and in a sequence. For the national presidents here in Zimbabwe, people are familiar with that. And even when we were in the party, two presidents, during Mnangagwa's time and this time, the presidents rotate. If the president is not there for one reason or the other, maybe leave or is on a trip and so forth. So the president rotates. But now there is a permanent absence, as it were. So the vice presidents then assume the position.
Is that a constitutional provision, or you just made an administrative issue of that issue?
There are three vice presidents in our constitution, and they've always operated as that, and they were elected as that. Therefore, the fact that there are three vice presidents is a constitutional provision. They were directly elected at the 2019 Congress, and therefore they have administratively to take turns, one after the other, to act. And it's nicer to give it a time limit and also to administratively give them a sequence. Yeah.
Right, and we have already noticed that you announced that Watchman Nuri is going to be the president. Many people want to understand how did you reach to that position?
He's the most senior, the two, age-wise, voting numbers that occurred at the Congress, and also you have to start somewhere, don't you? In soccer, when there's such a deadlock, sometimes people toss a coin, even in our elections. If two people are equally deadlocked, you toss a coin and you start somewhere.
Did you toss the coin?
No, we didn't. But I'm just saying that there is no, you have to start somewhere. It is administratively proper and also politically logical to do so.
Who are these people who met up and made this decision?
This was the standing committee of the 2019 National Standing Committee.
How many people are in that committee?
Well, there are over 20. The exact number eludes me, but it is a matter of record and public record.
Did you call out for the National Standing Committee to gather and make this decision? How did you confirm this?
Yes, there's a technology, as you know, Zoom meetings. We had a Zoom meeting to deal with this extraordinary situation that we had. And at that Zoom meeting, the decision was then made to look at appointing the acting president. And then the acting president will then summon other meetings physically or electronically, as the case may be, depending on the convenience that people seek at that particular time.
There's going to be, I would call it a complex matter. I know I've been tweeting about this, that there are going to be many triple Cs, and it looks like by definition and the direction, they are slowly coming out. the other Triple C, should I call it, the other Triple C faction, which is purportedly led maybe by Promise Mungwananzi, whom I want to also speak about his recall against you as well. Are these people part and parcel of this, what you've done? And I just need to understand as well, if you come together to this decision as the whole of Triple C, because you are saying you're also part of Triple C, which Triple C has done this?
My understanding is that Promise Mukwananzi and his other colleagues have firmly stated that they've gone to the new, which is called the blue. All their Twitter handles speak to that, and that they have sworn allegiance to yet an unformed entity, and they've not made any secret. Contradictorily or paradoxically, they also want to seem to be administering the Triple C, an organization that they have denounced as being infiltrated, that they are not part of it, that they are part of the new, and therefore would have nothing of it. It is like a husband who divorces a wife, but comes at night to try and get conjugal rights, but publicly claiming to love another. It is comical and quite surprising for colleagues to behave in that manner. But they've clearly stated that they have moved on. They've shown allegiance to the new thing.
So you, in other words, you're saying they're no longer part of the Triple C?
In their own words.
But are you also part of the Triple C? It looks like you've gone back to MDC Alliance of the 2009 Congress, the Great Congress.
Yes, political parties do not come out of thin air. We have a sequence. We were called the MDC Alliance. We were then faced with a by-election. That was more like a mini general election. At that by-election on 22 January, that particular year, we then met as the National Council. And in that National Council, we gave the President and his leadership the mandate to rebrand for the purposes of the elections and going forward in terms of the vehicle. And we rebranded as Triple C and changed the colors, but we maintained the leadership that was there. So in the rebranding, we then contested the election. You know, the Twitter handles say it. If you go back, they'll tell you our Secretary General is contesting in Koazana. They'll tell you our VP is contesting in this.
But I thought an issue of just customarily being used to what you guys have been. Did the MDC metamorphose into Triple C, or you completely started something that was new? Because we hear your president saying you have started the new, we are not rebranding or changing, and you are saying you rebranded. What really happened? What it looked like from then, your president then also said we have started the new, we are no longer part of the MDC.
We move with minutes. We're an organization. We held a national council, and that national council gave the mandate, the minutes are there, and the people actually met to decide on those things. So this is an organization, it's the biggest opposition in Zimbabwe and the biggest opposition in terms of presence in government on the continent. And therefore, its operations are governed by minutes, procedures, and processes. And that is what guides us. And that is why the president did not become the president because he was born a president. He became a president because at a Congress of the MDC Alliance, he became the president of that entity, which rebranded at no point in whatever he has said.
So in other words, you don't agree that you released the new, it was just a rebranding?
He never abandoned his presidency until now.
Can I ask you a question? Do you remember last year when people were actually voting for was it members of parliament and also councillors? Did you remember that people were actually voting for Nelson, for the president as well? I remember people from Malawi were saying they voted Nelson Chamisa as their presidential candidate. Do you remember that? How did all of a sudden people forgetting about it? Because I can hear Mafume keep on referring, citizens to Beru Congress in 2019. And I'm asking myself, who does that? Who does that? Starting a new political party where they says we don't want to hear about positions. Our goal is to put citizens at the center. citizens must decide who their leaders are. And then they wake up one morning and say, no, we now want to use those old positions. So when they're saying that, but nobody voted for Nelson Chamisa, are they trying to say they also want to be presidents? So is that the reason why they decided to, to come against Nelson Chamisa, because they want to be president because he was never voted for? But do people want you to be their president? So if you knew that you wanted to be president, then why didn't just remain? Because according to, to Promise Mkwananzi, they were asked a question. Those who want to remain in MDC, please do so. And the ones that wants to move with us, into citizen coalition for change, please do so. But on condition that citizens has to be on the sender. They knew that. And then they proceeded to follow Nelson Chamisa and the crew. And then after this war shenanigans of election, now they want to say, no, we want to go back to the old structures. For what? For money? What is so interesting is when you look at Jacob Mafume speaking, he speaks exactly like the way Sengezo Tshabangu used to do. It's always about, Gweru Congress in 2019, not about what's going on right now. We're talking about now, not 2019, now in 2024. Where are we? Where are we? Are citizens still at the center? Because you seem to be focusing on positions, president, positions. What about the citizens? So citizens don't really matter. It's really sad for Mr. Mafume, honestly. It's very sad.
And the reason why he had to write a resignation letter at this point was because he's a trained lawyer. He knows what to do when you are abandoning a post. So he was the president. Not because...
Was he the president of Triple C or
yes,
the president of MDC?
He was the president.
He's saying that the old, the new, started the new, this is the new baby. I know many press conferences which you also appeared. Yeah,
he was a presidential candidate.
Yeah, for which political party now?
For the MDC Alliance, which rebranded as the Triple C. And he was nominated for the past election as such. The record is, it would be ridiculous to have any other interpretation.
Yes.
Politics is very simple. He was the president of the MDC Alliance, and he was our presidential candidate going into the election. And up until now, he's contesting the validity of that election as the presidential candidate of the Triple C.
So what does this mean when you're going back to the 2009, 2019 Gweru Congress? Are you going there to fetch?
Please bear with me.
Fetch the dead party that you left to create Triple C. What are you picking? Okay. Are you picking everything?
We killed it.
So are you still in MDC? Because I thought you killed it into Triple C.
We rebranded. I think let's get our terms.
So what are you now getting back?
We are getting back the MDC Alliance as rebranded into Triple C at the meeting of 22 January.
So you are picking the constitution?
Yes, we are picking the constitution and the leadership positions as they were. We had our president.
Why are you not picking back the party name?
Why we not? We rebranded for the election purposes.
Yeah.
So we have already locked ourselves into an election. So it's sequential. You rebrand for the election.
Yeah.
You then win the election as the rebranded model.
Okay.
It will then be foolish to abandon that rebranding after you've won the elections. So remember,
Did you raise these issues with him while he was president to say we still have the MDC constitution that we've agreed and the structures? Because it seems you have gone for years without having these being visible. They're only visible now after his resignation.
when we are going into an election of the nature,
Thank you very much,
the presidential
Kile.
candidate assumes a larger-than-life situation in relation to the party. He develops a strategy, he develops a methodology, and at times you cannot interfere with that methodology as he's going into the election because you've put faith in him. And he says, I'm your best foot forward. I've got a strategy to win this election, both for the country, both for the party, and everybody concerned. This is my strategy. And I think every party does that. for the election. Even our counterparts across the floor had teachers for ED, teachers for that, teachers for that. He can then not claim that then everything is for him. That is an election strategy. So as we were going into an election strategy, he adopted strategies that he genuinely believed would win. And if one had misgivings, yes, you could have private conversations.
But this is the 2018 election. That's
20.
You rebranded for the 2018 election.
No, we rebranded for the by-elections.
By-elections.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you went into 2018 as Triple C.
2023.
28, sorry, you then went into the 2023 elections with Triple C.
Yes,
so since 2018 to 2023,
2018, you are getting to your years.
Okay.
We rebranded for the by-elections that we held. Was it 2020 or 2021?
2022.
Yeah. So remember, we had recalls going forward.
Yes.
And then we were faced with a mini general election, that is of the by-election. And then the question was, if we go in as the MDC Alliance, we will, with that name, if we use that name, we will stand the risk of having some of our members recalled.
Yeah, because we're fighting with wounds all around.
Yes.
Okay.
So we said, let's rebrand into Triple C as an entity. And that is what we did. We rebranded into Triple C, Citizens Convergence for Change. It's a concept that we used to have in the party moving forward. And as we rebranded, we then said, let's get him. So, but once you win an election, you then lock him. Yeah. Okay, if you're a follower of the Kenyan constitution elections, you know that every year they form new coalitions, new brandings, and they enter into the election as the rebranded parties. So Odinga will be the orange, and every year, every election time, they do that. But once you do that, you lock yourself within that name.
I fully understand, and that strategy is very clear.
It's very clear.
And it has worked successfully in different dispensations.
Yes.
But my question is, it looked like your president kept insisting that behold the new, there are no party positions in the new Triple C. We are not going to be doing the same way we're doing in the past. And they seem to be dead silent on these issues. And they are only now coming when he's gone. Did you argue with them during his time?
How does he say there are no party positions when you are calling him president? Is that not a position?
Definitely it was.
Yeah. So when somebody says something that doesn't really, even from the premise of himself, to say I'm the president, I'm saying there are no positions. It's just oxymoronic. You can't say I am a man, there are no sexes.
So you insist those positions they stay there.
Yeah.
That an issue of bond of protection.
That analogy is crazy.
But we need to maintain constitutionally, because he seems not to want to appreciate the Secretary General position. He seems not to appreciate maybe other positions, except for some few that he publicly made, like the speakers and the organization organizer. He did not want to.
He probably can explain himself.
But did you raise this with him during that time when he was saying this?
People kept their positions. The VPs said they were VPs. The Secretary General said he was Secretary General on Twitter. Everybody who had their position. Look, at the branches right now, a chairman is still a chairperson. At the district level, a chairperson is still the chairperson, and so forth. These are voted for positions. You can't wish them in your head.
It brings a legal complexity. You are a very much a successful lawyer. What does this mean when you're going back into the 2019 constitutional order, which was also declared null and void by the High Court when you were fighting with Monzola? It looked like
the High Court never declared it null and void.
It declared the MDC Alliance null and void. It says go back to the structures of MDC.
No.
Yeah.
The court recognized the various components of the MDC Alliance there. Okay? Yeah. And that was a judgment by Justice Omaj. And in that judgment, if you read it, the judge says, look, a lot of water has since passed under the bridge. The parties have since moved on. One is now the MDC Alliance, and the others is the MDC. And then he looked at the relationship as it pertains the 2018 positions. And that is, he then said, as you were going into the elections, before you had moved on, you were this and that and that. And that is the basis you entered into elections. But you then had a dispute. And in that dispute, the others then formed the MDC alliance and had a constitution. And for your own information, we won a case in relation, we won a number of cases during that time in the same High Court and Supreme Court where the constitution was recognized. You know, we won the case to stop the finances being given and interdicts that were done as the MDC alliance. So there was no such judgment. I don't know where it comes from to say that there was a judgment that said the MDC alliance is null and void.
In regard to failing to recognize the MDC, and then it gave power to the MDC that was now being run by
No. It gave power to the MDCT component.
Yeah.
So, for example, Monzora was never able to recall me because I had joined the alliance from PDP.
Yeah.
He was never able to recall MPs that were in the alliance, but had come from MDC Green. So, therefore, it simply recognized that there were other parties
to the alliance that also came.
And to the extent that we entered into the 2018 election is that by the time we got to the Congress, we adopted, we had already drafted the new constitution. I mean, you were at our Congress.
Yeah.
There were copies of that constitution that were dished out like confetti at a wedding.
Yeah.
And surely we would not have been dishing out a null and void document. It was adopted at the Congress, and we operated as such up to now.
Guys, do you remember the blueprint, like the blueprint that Chamisa launched? Do you remember? Again, it was also dished out to everyone. You know, what is Mafume saying about the blueprint? Because he's talking about the constitution, that they had while in MDC. What about the blueprint? The manifesto that was launched by Citizen Coalition for Change. This is really sad to watch. It's very sad. I didn't know these guys were crazy about positions. And you know, at first I thought it was a joke, but I can see Mafume is very adamant. And I hope, because I don't know, there's no more escape route. So they might as well just push people, but at the end of the day, we all know that there is absolutely nothing. It's a script. It's a script that they literally created just to cause a mess. But I think there is money. So again, when dirty money is at play, you know, it messes up with your mind because you owe allegiance to the owner of the money. You have to do their dirty work, otherwise you're in trouble. Because Mafume, you know, this thing literally stripped Mafume's dignity like wildfire. In a twinkle of an eye, Mafume has changed. That amazing man that we knew. I supported him, I believed in him as a mayor, his last term. But now I'm seeing just a lost soul, a completely deranged human being. It is very, very humiliating and sad. Like said, Mr. Mafume, if you happen to listen to this video, I want to say to you, I really feel for you, honestly, because I know that kumberugo, kwakaoma, kunenyaya. Honestly, guys, your legacy, you are still young, man, Mr. Mafume. You are still very young, honestly.
All right, so let's get to the issues now, which have led you to be here. You've got your president who has now resigned, and they said he's leaving politics, and you guys are now finally sailing this ship. Took a bit of a long time, and many people were saying, but we voted for you, we wanted leadership from you. How does this feel, and how does this fit within the public when you're now sailing this ship without him, especially at the time when he's now looking to be forming a new political party? Are you still loyal to him as the president?
We are loyal to him as a person. We are loyal to him as a colleague. We've walked this road together. Painful times, celebrated the good times. We have not been brought into his confidence as to where he is going. We have not been brought into his confidence when he resigned. We were not brought into his confidence as to what
Speaking to these issues of infiltration, I need to understand, you also do agree that there's infiltration politically. How do you respond to this issue that you are actually part of the infiltration, and you and the people that have been mentioned to be doing this new leadership are the reason why Chamisa is left, and you should be the infiltration yourself. How do you respond to these allegations?
Well, I did not infiltrate the opposition. We started the opposition in 2000. We were there. We were fought side by side. We have been in prison together. Many of his colleagues have been beaten up together. We have condemned Zambia publicly and openly. We have fought the battles. We do have the battle scars to show what we have done.
Yes, Tshabangu is doing otherwise, and it looks like you are going exactly the same direction of going back to 2019. You are reading and feeding back to what has been demanded. 2019, yeah.
2019 is not a swear word. It is the Congress that brought Nelson Chamisa to be the president of our party. It is the Congress that brought many of our leaders into being, not only at the Congress in Guru, but from the branches right up. Our party and our opposition movement, as currently structured, is based on 2019. The chairpersons come from 2019, chairpersons of districts, chairpersons of provinces, they come from 2019. So when somebody says, let's go to 2019, they are not talking about a bad thing. We were there in Guru together, wearing the cold. It was a very cold night.
Yeah.
We were not doing jokes at that time. We were electing a leadership through a democratic process, a joyous gathering of Democrats. So people must not stigmatize. People have their positions that they currently hold because of 2019.
Mm-hmm. So you do agree with the demands from Tshabangu to say, let's go back to 2019 as the structures are that to be.
We're not going back.
You are recognizing them, because your president was not recognizing them. That's the issue. Your president was not recognizing this same position.
He wasn't recognizing himself as a president.
He was, but you are saying there are no vice presidents. There's no
president. He became a president because of 2019. How do you not recognize yourself? He resigned from the post, meaning he recognized himself as such. He went into the election as the presidential candidate. Our constitution says the president of our party, who is elected at a Congress, becomes the presidential candidate. Otherwise, we would have been primary elections.
So this completely nullifies this mantra that we are the new Triple C, the new political party, the new baby, and you've got nothing to do with the MDC alliance. You are in contrary with this.
You must not conflict with religion. There is no born-again politician with politics. A politician is a politician. I don't understand. He means new vis-a-vis ZANU-PF. I don't mean, there's no baptismal for politics to say that I am there for new because I have been dipped in some political Baptist water of some sort. New vis-a-vis ZANU-PF. He can be new vis-a-vis himself.
How then do you disconnect yourself from Tshabangu? You've been saying that you do not, you're not happy about the recalls that he has caused. But these same recalls are the ones that have led you guys to then realize the action going back to 2019. Is he not part and parcel of the whole process that is causing you here?
Every politician has agents and they have different tactics to deal with their grievances. We deal with our grievances differently. We will not recall anybody. We would be able to deal with what we did. We do it politically as we are doing now. But be that as it may, he has to be engaged. He dealt with his issues as he did.
Do you accept that he is the interim Secretary General?
He dealt with those issues as he deemed necessary at whatever strategies and leverages that he had. And we have mandated our acting president to deal with him and the situation that he has created effectively. And it will be dealt with.
Okay, I need to understand. My question is, do you accept him as the Secretary General, interim Secretary General of the party as he has been said?
I recognize the impact of his actions. That we can bury your head in the sand and say the impact of his actions have no consequences. they do have consequences. And what we need to do is to be able to deal with them within the context of the politics. It's a political arena. And when a political situation arises, you deal with it effectively.
Ms. Mafume, you are a very sharp lawyer, one that I've seen arguing a lot of times. You are being evasive here. You're not answering my question. You're answering your question. My question is, do you recognize him, not his efforts or the effects of his office? Do you recognize his office that he says, I am the interim secretary general of the CCC? Do you recognize this office, or he's an imposter?
What I'm saying is that that situation is the situation that we have mandated the acting president to deal with it. And he will deal with it and unscramble the scrambled egg because of the competing claims and the competing realities around the post.
So you will not call him an imposter?
Well, in what purpose will that serve? I am being called an imposter right now. What purpose does it serve? You journalists have labels that you have to put at a person. But I will allow the processes that we have to do.
You're clearly not happy about the recalls, as you've said. You've been recalled more than 4 times.
Yeah, I've been recalled more than 4 times.
Yes.
So I'm not happy for anyone to...
And this is what Tshabangu has been doing.
Yes,
you're not calling him out for being an imposter. You're calling him out for the actions of an imposter. You're not calling him out for the office that he has taken.
So, look, the situation is this, that the acting president has been mandated to deal with that situation.
Are you afraid of Tshabangu?
No. Why should I be afraid?
Do you fear that he may also recall you? He has been recalling people and stopped. And you know, there's been
this. Tony, I was a wanted person for 3 months. Wanted dead or alive after the election of 2019. My existence in politics has never been dependent on my position that I currently hold. I have existed in this political field longer as an activist than I am a councillor or mayor. This position I hold can end at any time, through death, through suspension, through arrest, through recalls, through any methodology that is available to the regime to deal with me. This one is just one of the methods, but it is there. We deal with it, and we are dealing with it not out of fear, but we are dealing with it using politics and the skills that we have developed throughout the years. And once we get the mandate, as we have given the mandate to a particular office to deal with that situation, we expect that office to deal with that situation and to deal with it effectively.
The other CCC has gone on and announced James Timber as the leader, and he has an overall role, and they're also making appointments to the parliament. Here you are as well as the other faction of the CCC, should I call it another faction. You're also announcing as 3 presidents. Are you one? Are you 2 separate groups? What is going on? People need to understand. Or we can clearly now say that there are 2 factions there.
I understand. James Timber, his letters are still in the court. He was removed on account that he's not a member of CCC from Senate itself. So it is something that he has to deal with. He has decided to deal with it in that manner, and in the manner that he has done. I hope he is dealing with it in that manner. But my understanding is that in terms of the positions that were there in the CCC, his position was not the position of leader of the party. Maybe he's also conducting...
he's not going back to if I say, let me just call it going back to the 2019 structure. They're saying we're moving on after our president has left. They are going another direction that says I'll be appointed overall.
He is also conducting his own coup. Well, we wish him well.
Are you conducting a coup?
No, he is conducting his coup against 2019. That's what you say. He's moving on. Yeah. So you literally, a few minutes ago, said he is conducting a coup in 2019. So I'm just giving an appropriate
Okay, I didn't know that moving on with what you had given us as citizens was a coup.
If Mnangagwa says they're moving on from Mugabe, what is that? Moving on in politics, it is exactly that. He is saying, I don't recognize whatever happened. I don't recognize the vice president. I don't recognize anything. And that's a coup against constitutionalism and against the party that he is purporting to be representing. I mean, how else can you describe it?
Your president is now rumored to be forming a new political party. Where do you stand should he launch a new political party? Are you going to abandon this ship and join him, or you are going to be in opposition to your former president?
No, we joined this opposition movement, and we joined the comradeship out of love. We love Nelson Chamisa. If he engages with someone like me, eyeball to eyeball, and says to me, you have a place in the new, we can discuss and talk about it. But if he feels that it is not necessary to talk to me, I have no value to whatever he is for me, and I have no space, then I respect his wishes. He is a brother. He is entitled to his own opinions. The last time he became president, he sat down with me, looked me in the eye, and asked me for my support. He asked me to be his spokesperson. He asked me to be his election person. He asked me to do whatever I was doing. And I did it to the best of my ability. And I was put in jail for doing the instructions that he had given me. I was expelled. I was suspended. I was hunted to the ends of the country. My wife was also had to go outside the country. My children could not go to school because I was pursuing an agenda that he becomes the president. Until such time that he is able to look me in the eye, brother to brother, man to man, and say, Jacob, I have a role for you in whatever I'm forming. I'm staying where I am.
Okay, now you see, now finally Mafume really have exposed himself. So Mafume's goal is a position. Can you hear these guys? These guys are very clear. What they want are positions. Remember, Tendebit was very angry when he lost against Malcolm. You know, he wanted to be the member of parliament. You know, he also heard that Woshmengwe said, I'm the vice president, stuck to my guns, stuck to my position, you know, from MDC. Now you can hear Mafume says, oh, I was arrested. My family went in exile. I, you know, sacrificed a lot to this movement. Until Nelson Chamisa tell me about the position, look in the eyes, and tell me that I have you a position as a vice president, I'm going to stay where I am. Did you hear that? It's all about positions, and which is quite very sad. Now, but I love the fact that it's that season where we have to, it's a pruning season. It's definitely a pruning season where those that are genuinely want to be part of the struggle, want to see a better Zimbabwe without receiving anything, can stand together. These ones that are looking for positions, fair play, they can do whatever they want. You know, when he says that he is waiting, Nelson Chamisa can come and speak to him. Honestly, if Nelson Chamisa does that, I'm definitely going to dump him. If Nelson Chamisa rope these people into this new movement, I'm going to walk away. Because he can't keep on repeating those same problems. Remember, in the words of Maya Angelou, when a person shows you who they are for the first time, believe them. These people have shown him, not only him, show his mentor, that was Mr. O. Morgan Tsvangirai, that they were untrustworthy. They were greedy of positions. They were power hungry. And he listened, he forgave them, hoping that we can build something strong. Look where he is today. So if he decides to go back to these dudes, I'm not going to support him anymore. Honestly. Because I just think we don't need people like this to move forward. We need those that are committed. You don't have to be an attorney or having, all the certificates on the wall to be a leader. No. You just need to have the heart, the sacrifice. These people know, not in the new. Not in the new. They let them stay there with their own party. They can do whatever they want, but not in the new. I don't also think Nelson Chamisa will ever go back to these circus. These people are actually dangerous. They are dangerous. I cannot believe this dude is like, he thinks Nelson Chamisa, he will approach him and give him a position. That's what he thinks. In your dreams, sir. In your dreams. In the new is the young or nothing. In your dreams, Mr. Mafume, forget it. Forget position. Forget it.
I like the direction of this. So, should he formally call you and re-engage you, you guys, you are ready to also abandon the CCC and join the new blue?
No,
if ever there's a blue.
We're not ready to abandon anything. We have a struggle. We have vehicles that we use to engage in that struggle.
Yeah, but this struggle, many have argued that this struggle is non-existent without Chamisa as the face of it. And many people who have won any political position in the opposition, they've won on account of his ticket. Do you think that you can stay in the political contestation without Chamisa as an opposition?
Maybe English is not our best language. Life goes on. People say.
All right.
I invite you. And people will continue, the struggle continues. Nelson Mandela died, the struggle continued. Tongo Gara died, the struggle continued. Ebert Chiteko died, the struggle continued. Morgan Changirai, a far bigger name than all of us, died, and the struggle continues. But if someone among us has developed a godlike complex and feels that nothing can proceed without him, it's up to him and those who believe.
Are you ready to face the electorate as an opposition, even fighting in a contestation where Chamisa is also standing? Should there be a by-election or a national general election, are you ready to stand against him as an opposition? Because it looks like he's going to be forming a new political party. And do you think you do stand a chance against him?
Put this under your tongue to rise up.
I love that question. That's really a powerful question. I love it.
We are not interested in bringing down Nelson Chamisa. We have no trophy at the end of a win against Nelson Chamisa. We need to change the country in terms of getting it from ZANU-PF and giving it to a democratic dispensation. We cannot compete against each other. If he is competing against me and is expecting a trophy to say I've defeated Jacob Mafume, I don't know. I certainly do not believe things like that. I don't think he's competing against the diabetes. I don't think he's competing against Washman Newell. He has an agenda, in my hope, to change the way people are governed and to prosperity. And I'm sure if you were to ask him, it doesn't matter to him who is at the top in that change, as long as the qualitative democratic change. That is what the principle of comradeship is. That is what the principle of democracy is. That is what the principle of a struggle is. It is not me or nothing else. I will be happy. I will benefit more in my life. My family will benefit more in their lives from a Nelson Chamisa president, from a Tendai Biti president, from a Washman Newell president. I do believe.
Do you think you remain loyal to him as the president of the political party?
He has resigned. You place me in a very difficult position.
Unfortunately, that's my job.
He himself has resigned. I remain loyal to him as a brother and a friend. But he has resigned. He has said, I'm thinking about my options. And until such a time that he thinks about his options, life has to go on. We have cities to run. We have an opposition to conduct in parliament. We have wards. We have people with day-to-day issues that need to be addressed. And we have to confront the excesses of the ruling party. And we will do just that. People leave posts for one reason or the other. Death, resignation, some are voted out. Nothing stops. I think people must understand life. you were to die today, your wife and family move on. What of a whole political party made up of thousands and thousands of people?
Yeah.
It moves on. Nothing stops because you have done something or not done something. So we do understand. You will bring, if it is necessary, if it was necessary, he would have brought us into his confidence to tell us, my brothers, I'm going to resign. These are my reasons. They are not corrected. I've tried to correct them. They've refused. Do you have plans to assist me to correct this? Or if you come to me, Tony, and say, Jacob Mafume, you are my problem. You are the infiltrate. The struggle will not continue if you are present. Do you think, as a self-respecting human being, I would not have voluntarily gone myself away? I would have gone. My parents put effort in my...
There've been these speculations for a very long time, Your Worship, that there is another different faction. And I love how emotive this has become. And have you ever spoken about this? Because it always sounded like there's always been things. We have been suspected to be derailing the struggle of the opposition. Have you ever at any given time sat down as party leadership and said, let's discuss these things? Because the social media and the general people that voted for you have always believed that they're infiltrators. And your names have been thrown around here and there, that you're probably part of the infiltrators. Have you ever sat down with Chamisa to discuss these things?
How do you call people who are always being arrested, being thrown in jail? It's like some of the hateful things that are being said about job scan. Someone spends a year in jail. He comes back, he finds the political party that he went to jail for is said to have disappeared. His position is no longer there. He has to make statements against his colleagues and against that political party. Does he have an explanation? Clearly from where he stands, there is no clear explanation as to what has happened. So, we have to conduct, like Amolka Cabral said, tell no lies, face the truth, tell your comrades the true position, claim no easy victories, isn't it? Job Scala is owed an eyeball to eyeball discussion as to what has happened. He was the chairperson going into jail.
Are you going to be incorporating him?
Well, he's a colleague in the democratic struggle. If he decides not to have anything to do with us, we respect him and we will support whatever position and endeavors he seeks to do. We owe him that, at least from a human being perspective. 1 year, 2 years in jail. Not and the offense that you have been in jail for, you get a fine. After all these years. And if our struggle is not empathetic, if our struggle is not considered, if our struggle is an accusatory, if our struggle is a Spanish Inquisition, it will not be blessed.
Last but not
Mafume is gaslighting. Is gaslighting. It's funny. How do you blame Nelson Chamisa and their leadership about Job Sikala, knowing well that you're in bed with Sengezo Tshabangu? You were communicating. Do you remember the interview Wash Mengwe where he said, I called Sengezo Tshabangu. I was like, hey, why are you, did you recall people? And Sengezo was like, yes. And I phoned him again. I was like, did you recall those people? And the same, Sengezo Tshabangu said, the situation of Job Sikala only needs political settlement. Do you remember political negotiations? Do you remember that? And then the very same time that ZANU-PF acquired their quote-unquote two-thirds majority, which people are saying there is no two-thirds majority yet. Sengezo Tshabangu muted, went on mute. And then you guys started all your shenanigans. And two mayors were recalled for Mr. Jacob Mafume to become the mayor. And ZANU-PF began, to support you. Speaking of how amazing you are, Mr. Mafume, but when you were under Citizen Coalition for Change, under the banner of Nelson Chamisa, they were fighting you. Remember when we didn't want to endorse the Pomona deal? And now all of a sudden you're becoming the hero in the midst of ZANU-PF. And you now gaslighting, blaming Nelson Chamisa. That is a problem. But who, Nelson Chamisa, did he put Sakala in prison? And now you say people were not sympathizing. All these are lies. But you also remember that Chamisa was actually blocked to see as job seeker. And they were going, these ones. Why? Because they knew what they were doing in the background. Now he's telling you that no, we engage Sengezo Tshabangu. You engage him on what grounds? When you talk, they keep on talking about citizens. Which citizens are they referring to? Because as far as I know, Zimbabweans want nothing to do with them. Him, BT, Wente, and the other body of the emotion. People want nothing to do with them. They were lying that they had this meeting in Bulawayo, and people said it was only him talking there. And he says he had a presser with some of his colleagues, but the chairs were there, but he was just the only one there. The drama, no, not Mr. Mafume. Like, I'm beyond disappointed. The word disappointed cannot explain if my shock enough that this man can actually do what he's doing. I'm extremely disappointed, honestly. I'm extremely disappointed.
Please, I know this has been a very long one, your worship. People have voted strongly for your political party in the 2018 election. And the biggest question that many people are asking is what next? Our vote has been stolen or rigged. Yeah. And it looked like all of your political parties have disappointed Zimbabweans that voted for you. You have taken us into your internal petty fights and you've forgotten the biggest struggle, which was one to amass power and regain control of governance, government, and parliament. What should you think should be the best way forward? And are you also not being equally responsible for all these sideshows, should I call them, when we should be talking about the contentious 2018 elections?
Well, 2023.
Sorry, 2023 elections. Yes.
It's regrettable we are where we are. We thought by now I would have been a Minister of Justice, giving proper justice to the people of Zimbabwe. Maybe if I had missed the Ministry of Justice, I would have been in the Ministry of Local Government. And like I said before, maybe even if I was not in government, I would be living a better life under the president. Because you must remember, change of government and new government does not only benefit you when you are in government, it also benefits you and your family when you are not in government. So I would live pretty under the government of my colleague.
Yeah, but are you not giving ZANU-PF victory? It looks like these side shows have removed the focus from the 2023 elections.
These side shows will invariably remove the focus. They must stop. They must refocus. We must recalibrate, and if there are people who are not aiding and aiding the democratic struggle, one will then need to review their behavior and see whether it is necessary to continue. At some point, you stop. It's not an easy walk in the park. Sometimes you do it not because you exactly want it, but you receive the call at night. So and so has been arrested. We need you to come and see them. So and so is being affected by this position. This is happening to our country. We need you to speak up. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you don't do it because you have raised your hand in a classroom scenario and said, me.
Yeah. So that's the question, Your Worship.
People ask you to do it. We never
I don't think many sane people would doubt the contribution that you have done towards the struggle and the liberation, freedom of many Zimbabweans. and social justice. The question is now coming in specifically with the association of the Tshabangu, who then gives all this victory, two-thirds majority to ZANU-PF. His works have taken back your struggle, and they seem to be association within your party in Tshabangu. The confliction, how do you then distance yourself within this interest?
It follows that we might end up having to run away from the whole of Zimbabwe because there is ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe. We have to fight. This is a fight. If you believe that someone has done something, you confront them, you engage them, you fight it in a way that you are able to continue confronting these processes. It's the same like somebody who comes to kill you at your house or comes to continue arresting you. It has to be fought. And we have to confront it. Those are the realities that we are facing as a movement.
Sorry, that's almost the last one. You took us through what I call an emotional journey, which I feel you, and I honestly understand that you had a strong relationship with Blessing Chamisa, and you guys have not been talking, neither has he called you to tell you about these plans, which is honestly very, it makes sense for you to make such kind of a decision, because you have not been consulted, and like grown men and politicians, you need to make a decision. Do you feel left out? Do you feel that Chamisa dumped you? Do you feel that Chamisa is no longer taking you as part and parcel of your whole team in another instance? Do you feel like he left you in the cold when he made all these decisions without consulting some of you guys?
I don't know. It's not really being left out. Left out to go away. He says he doesn't know where he's going yet. But it's this is an opposition is a voluntary process from each according to their ability and to each according to their need. I contribute to this struggle through my abilities. My abilities as a politician, my abilities as a lawyer, and my abilities to assist various communities. And if that ability is no longer being required, sometimes the best way of doing it is to simply say, hey, Jacob, sit down. I know you represent our people, you take them out of jails, you go there, you also get arrested in our name, and you insult ZANU-PF in our name. Can you just stop?
How was your relationship in his last days?
We don't really need you to do it anymore. And we stop. Okay. And that it's not something that you can force someone. But we didn't enter this struggle for a person. We never said that we entered for a particular person. We have to change the lives of Zimbabwe through the agents of people and a political party. For the presidential post, him. For MPs, we have other people. For councils and so forth, we have other people that are relevant within those contexts. If they are not there, we find other people. So we are there. Well, we never had a direct fallout. We never had any ill feeling towards each other to the best of my knowledge. What we might have at the present moment is a different of strategies. I am a structural person. My training is institutional building. I believe in institutions. I believe in limits. I believe in positions in relation to role clarification. You are secretary, treasurer, and so forth and so forth.
Okay.
And ways of doing things.
We didn't believe in those ones.
That's constitutional movement. We remember we started at the NCA right up to this point. And from what you were saying, he seems to believe in other things.
Yeah.
He believes in himself as the answer. He says it's the way. He knows the answer. He will tell you. You will follow, and so forth. He might well succeed, but that is not what I believe in. I believe comrades sit at a table, sit at a meeting, they produce minutes, they clarify roles, they go in one direction, they do these things, they agree, even if they want to resign, even if they want to go another route, and even if they want to chase you away, they sit down, they tell you, comrade, at this juncture, we are no longer working with you, we are going this way, and you decide what to do with it. And I firmly believe that is the way we should operate and remove this life and death feeling to politics. This is where ZANU-PF wants us to be, and this is where ZANU-PF has placed us over the years. You are either this or you are dead. You are either that or you are dead. Unfortunately, it is not like that.
Yeah, so this is quite sad because I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of yeah. So yeah, he really has cleared the air. These people are just after positions. You heard him. I believe in structures. I believe in positions and respect for him for being honest. But here's the thing. They expect Nosun Chamisa to actually speak to them and approach them properly. But when they were conniving with Sengezo Tshabangu to recall MPs, did they even approach him? Because you expect to be treated well. Are you treating people well? Right? Respect is end. Life is about, it's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Like I said to you, remember when we were analyzing these issues, I told you, there are people who just find it difficult to be led by a young person. I really think that's what is playing out here. They always accuse Chamisa of being a dictator. But one thing for sure is that, thank God, Chamisa has to let these people go and really start afresh with the right people who believe in service rather than these that believe in positions. Because sevens are not position mad. Even when they go through what they go through, they'll just carry it and know that I did it for myself. Remember, anything that you do, you're not doing it to the people, you're doing it to God. And when that is understood, I'm not doing what I'm doing for Chamisa. As a matter of fact, there's someone who asked me one day, I was like, no, I don't even have Chamisa's number in my phone. He doesn't even know me. He has seen me, but I've never sat down with him and talked to him. It's a fact. I don't need Chamisa to do what I have to do. I want a better Zimbabwe for all. It has nothing to do with Chamisa. So whatever happens, I don't want anything from anybody. Because I have chosen to do what I can do, making sure that I contribute to the struggle. So we all can wake up tomorrow and have a better Zimbabwe. I don't want anything from anybody. So when you think that you deserve to be paid or you deserve to be compensated, that's a problem right there. That is a problem. And also Chamisa says, citizens are the sender. My positions as weird, but at least tighter come out of this mess. Then, but this man is already talking about being a minister. Sir, we're not there yet. So don't talk about ministry. Just serve. I really respect people that give their all. And then you can actually say that, oh, you know what, this person, I think they deserve to be a leader in this area because they are sevens. But if you're someone who just wants things, and then you say, I'm going to serve after I want stuff. Yeah, I'm not surprised, even if these allegations are true, that they are working hand in glove with ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF realize that they are very weak. And they are stupid and foolish. Like I said to you guys, if you look at what's going on in the country now in terms of people that are receiving cars, I've been sitting really thinking, you have been given a car that is worth 150,000, for example, US dollars. Are you telling me that you can sell your destiny for $150,000? Because at the end of the day, you're not just getting things. You also have to pay. You're playing a part. It's a deal. When you're getting a car, what are they getting in return? Nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. As a matter of fact, that person that is giving you a car is expecting multiplication from the car they gave you, which means you're going to be their slave. That's how it works in life. You're not just getting things. It makes me think about the statement that was spoken by Kanyimba then When he was talking about the girls, those girls who believe in blesser and blessees. Like, oh, I've got my blesser. He gives me everything. No, he doesn't give you everything. He gives you all that you want, but you pay for everything. You will pay for it. There is no way a person is just going to give you something and you get away with it. Even God, Yahweh himself, he's not just going to give you what you want. No. You have to avail via yourself, do the work, and then he rewards you for the work that you do. It is a principle of life. You give something, you get something out. We are waiting, we are watching. We want to see the end of these games because things are going to be very ugly for many people. Because those that have given you things, they will come after their stuff. And you have to give your soul for it. That's how it works. You had Mr. Mafume. Now we have the background. Now we understand where we are going. What I love about 2024 is that we have information at our disposal. Before then, before we had social media, we were so stuck. But I'm so grateful now that we are able to understand what people are saying, where they're saying it, why they're saying it. And I'm so grateful for all these journalists who are doing incredible work. Shout out to you, Tonio, for such a wonderful interview. Now we know where Mr. Mafume made it clear he's definitely after positions. And the chairman was like, no, citizens at the sender, we are serving people. They are not after service. But thank God, those that are in to serve will eventually emerge and serve the people. That's all I'm going to say. Mr. Mafume, good luck to you. Good luck. Ask those who tried earlier on, they're to pay. It comes with a cost. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The devil is a master illusionist. He pretends to give you something. No, he doesn't. You know, my daddy always say that life with God is bittersweet. You know, you act like you're suffering, like nothing is working. You walk through the process, but in the end, you're going to win. But life with the devil, he shows you a counterfeit. Act like everything's working. You saw Mr. Mafume move from this humble man to the pompous dude. Yeah, it's simply a game. But in the end, Kucha Chema, people are going to regret their moves because destiny and history is definitely going to remember and vindicate the people of Zimbabwe. Those who sacrifice themselves, some who slept at polling stations. I never heard them talking about how people struggle. They never talk about the sham election. These guys are simply talk about positions. Again, that can show you good. You know what? I'm glad that finally Nelson Chamisa has been vindicated. You know what? We are very closer than you think. This is just a time where God says, let me clean you up, Yao. So when you cross, you're going to cross over clean. Proud of yourselves and really with such a clear direction. Because now all of us, we know it's not about positions, it's really about serving the people. It's about considering those that are suffering. You know what I mean? These are professionals, attorneys, that even if they can leave politics, they're still going to have clients and be serving. But no, they have professions, but they still want to destroy those that are in need. There are so many Zimbabweans who are suffering today, who are crying. Some of them don't even know what to eat tomorrow. And someone has the nerve to literally mess up with the struggle, all because they're after positions. What a disgrace. What a shame. What a curse. It is sad. Very sad indeed. Very sad. Moving on, we're going to move to family time. This issue here, I don't know how many people have seen pictures that are circulating. And I'm going to talk to men and women who may have children and decide to marry someone, while you have your kids. I want to talk to you. There's a picture that is circulating where a stepmother, you call the stepmother. In my world, there's nothing called a stepmother. Everyone is your mom. Everyone is your dad. As long as you're a child, in my world. So they are saying, be mindful. That is crime watch Zimbabwe. Be mindful of women you choose to marry. Look at what this stepmother is doing to this young girl. So she's literally beating this young girl, tie her with a rope. And what a heartbreaking story. I'm not in Zimbabwe, literally. If I was in Zimbabwe, I was going to take this child immediately. Unfortunately, the laws in Zimbabwe, you can't just take a child in the code trafficking. But what I could do is to reach out and maybe take care of the child from a distance, make sure that the child is safe. But I'm doing everything in my power to make sure I'm going to reach out to the family, to reach out to this child. I don't mind to do whatever I can. If they will allow me, I was going to take the child. Let me say this, if you're a married person, if you are a single man or woman with your children, and you wish one day to have someone in your life, please consider your children. Consider your children first. When you are looking for a wife or you're looking for a husband, guys, stop telling each other, no, I'm looking for beauty. Beauty does not build a home. Beauty does not raise kids. You look at someone who's kind, with a good heart. Otherwise, you live to regret it. This does not make sense to me. As a man, and you are married to a woman who does this, where the hell is the man? Where is he? He doesn't know that's what the child is going through. If you are a man and you have a wife that you called quote unquote, you call people stepmother, but in my word, you're simply a mom. Check in with your children. Take them out. Without the wife, get to see them. Because, you know, kids will show you. They may not say anything, but you can see by the actions. I've always said that if you were good with your children before you marry someone, and the moment you marry a person, things are going haywire. Red flag. What did the person do? Because energies speak. If the woman brings terrible energy, the kids respond immediately. Guys, don't marry men or women who do not love your kids. They must love your kids first. I know some people pretend, but man, if your eyes are open widely, and if you are truthful, you will see that the person is pretending. You can see it. It takes a certain kind of grace to love someone's children. It takes a certain kind of grace to love someone else like the way you love yourself. I'm so sad. This story is very, very sad. This beautiful child is broken, tattered. What trauma can this young girl really carry at such an age? But young women, if you are a woman out there and a man out there, you are married to someone with kids, I'm going to ask you and I'm begging you of God, please, if you're angry, don't take your anger on kids. They know absolutely nothing. They're simply angels, innocent kids who's trusting in your leadership. Please protect these children. They do not know what you guys are going through. Please, and I repeat, love them. Treat them like your own. Sometimes, you don't know how God works. The very same children will take care of you tomorrow. It is that simple. They may look like nothing today, but trust me, destiny has a way of changing things. Tomorrow, they will be the one while you're getting old, while you're suffering. Some of you when you're sick. Some of you when you have an accident, God forbid. I'm telling you facts. That's what life is all about. Life rolls like a ball, and they're the ones that will be next to you. Don't live your life with the regrets. Love these children. Love your neighbor's kids. Love everyone around you. If there ever be anything that you can do in 2024, it's being kind. Just be a kind person, really for the sake of destiny, for the sake of peace. In the end, we all belong to the same Father. We are all be under the same God, God Almighty, our Father, the love of all. You know what I'm saying? So this world is going to pass, y'all. There's warm upsets there. Guys, please, I'm begging you, treat these children with love. Every child deserves to be protected. Every child deserves to be loved. By all means, I'm asking you, brothers and sisters, let's build a strong Zimbabwe. And I urge the police to arrest this woman immediately. She must be locked up. She doesn't deserve to be in our society. The Zimbabwe that we are approaching now, we have no mercy. You cross the line, there will be consequences. It is what it is, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. I'm so glad that, guys, you were very patient to walk through this journey of this interview of Mr. Mafume. And I'm doing this intentionally. We need to lay the ground. We know where we are going, and we know who have messed us up. Some people are going to lose businesses in future because of the way we've been treating people. You never know. You never know. Life has a way of humbling us. I love you so much, or I love you deeply. May God bless you, and may God bless Zimbabwe. Tomorrow I wanted to come back and do a video where I'm going to tell you about 41 lessons that I learned in my 41 years of living in this world. Trust me, I'm only going to live after 100 years, so I'm still young. The devil knows I am still, I haven't even started my purpose yet. I'm still here to change lives, change lives. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. I'm going to tell you 41 lessons I've learned for the past 41 years. I want to be of a blessing to you. And I know there will be some things going on tomorrow, and we'll be back here. I love you so much. May God bless you, and may God bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.